Since family creation caught your attention, this time we're designing a modern and truly unique model you'll want in every project. It is going to be a floor-based furniture, so we are going to go to File section and create a new family in English template, and in here we're going to go to Metric Generic Model Floor-based. Click on OK. And in here, first thing we need to do is to set our unit. Press UN, and in length section, switch this unit to meters and rounding on to decimal places. Then we are going to create some reference planes. I'm going to create 2 in these 2 sections and 1 in here. Then we are going to set dimensions to be able to control the size, the distance in all of these sections. We are not going to turn it into parameters, but we just need to see and control the lengths. Now for its lengths, I think we can go with 2.8 or 3 meter. And for its width, we can go to 1.10. Okay, if we need to change it, we are going to do it later. Then we need to go to left view, and in here we are going to create 2 more reference planes, one for the sitting area and the other one in here. Then I'm going to create dimensions for these 2 sections too, and another one for here. This part can be something around 40, 45, 50, these things, and the last part can be going to move it to this part to be able to control it. Let's go with 95. I'm going to go to ref level, and in here I need to go to create section and start creating the form, the model of my furniture. I will use this extrusion with this rectangle exactly on all of these reference planes, and make sure to lock all of them. Okay, I need to hit finish, and then we can go to left view and align this top section with this extrusion and lock it. If we go to 3D view, we have this box in here like this. Then we're going to go back to ref level, and in here I am going to create some more reference planes. One in this part, another one in here, and one in this section. I will set all of these on one value to these references. Okay, and I'm going to set all of them on, let's go with 50, and 50 in this part too, and also in here. Okay, then I'm going to go to create, and this time we're going to create some void extrusion to make these parts empty. So with this option, I'm going to use this pick line, and I will click on these parts and also this line, and then we are going to trim all of these this way. Then for this section, I'm going to use this fillet, a very small fillet like this in here, and we are going to set its size on 10 centimeter and 10 centimeter for this part too. Now hit finish, and if we go to left view, we can set it in the base from this part to here. Then we are going to create another one, but this time it is going to be on top of this section. Go to void extrusion with this pick line. I'm going to create 15 centimeter offset in this part, in here, and also in this section, and another one I'm going to create for this part, and let's trim all of these parts this way and make a little bit bigger fillet in these 2 parts. I'm going to put this on 20 or maybe 30. Okay, and 30 for this part too. Now hit finish and go to this left view again. this section will go up in here, and the base part will be set on this line. Okay, now if we go to 3D view, we will have this base for our furniture. You can make these parts a little bit bigger, but we are going to do this with another section on top of this part. So I'm going to go to ref level, and with create extrusion, I'm going to create a line with 5 centimeter offset of these lines in here in this part, and also from all of these sections this way, and one without any offset. I'm going to select this part, and I'm going to split it into sections. Then I'm going to trim all of these lines together this way, like this, and then we can hit finish. If we go to left view, we're going to set it exactly on top of this side, lock it, and for its thickness, you can control it from this part. I'm going to put it on 45, like this. Okay, you can lock it or you can add parameter for it to control the thickness of this section. I'm going to go to 3D view, and now we have something like this. Then we're going to create and model the soft sections. This was the structure, and all of these sections can get one unique material. So I'm going to select all of these parts, the models, of course, and this one. So we have two things selected, and from this material section, I'm going to create a parameter for that. Let's go with maybe a stone. I'm going to make it instance, click on OK and OK. Now I'm going to go back to ref level, and with this extrusion, I'm going to create some more lines with simply 2 centimeter offset. In the inside section, I'm going to create it toward outside, but in here, I'm going to create it toward inside, like this. And for these two parts, I will create it toward inside this way. Then I'm going to make all of these lines connected together. Okay, and then we are going to hit finish. I will go to this 3D view, to this left view, and I'm going to set it exactly above this line. Lock it, and for the top section, I will add something like 52, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to make this section smaller. Maybe we can go with 43. And then for this part, we can have it like this, or maybe 51. Okay. If we go to 3D view, we can see this sitting area like this. All of these sections are just details. We are going to add them even more. I'm just creating the base for what I want to have. Then for this section, for this top part, I'm going to go to ref level again. And in this part, I will go to create, and this time we are going to use this sweep. For its path, I'm going to click on this sketch path, and I will set it exactly on this section. Then I'm going to use this pick line, and I will select all of these lines like this. Hit finish and go to left view. In here, we are going to create the profile. So for the profile, we're going to use a very simple circle. And to create that, we are going to use one of these shapes. I will create it with this simple circle. From this part, let's check it. I think 10 is okay, or maybe 8. Yes. And then we are going to move it to here and down in this part. And then we are going to make it a little bit closer. like this, and then I'm going to create a line with just 1 centimeter offset from this line, okay, or maybe less than this. Then we are going to split this circle into 2 sections, and we are going to trim these lines with this circle, okay. So this is going to be our profile, and I'm going to make it a little bit closer. I created this gap in here just to have a little bit more detail. So I'm going to hit finish and finish again. If we go to 3D view, we can see our form like this in here. I'm going to repeat it one more time. So we're going to go to left view, select it, click on this copy from this part to here, and again I will create a little bit gap like this in here, okay. This is much better. Then next thing I want to do is to cut these sections to add some forms to these pillows. I'm going to go to ref level again, and in here we are going to go to create some void extrusions, and I'm going to use this line from this point to here, and then I'm going to create 2 offsets. 3 I think is enough on one side, and on here delete it. Let's connect these 2 together, and also these 2 parts to move it outside, and then you're going to hit finish. If we go to 3D view, we should have them in this part, and in here, as you can see, it cuts this pillow. I don't want it to cut this structure, but I feel like it looks really cool, but we don't need that. So I'm going to go to this cut section and uncut geometry, these 2 like this, but I wanted to cut this section, so I'm going to use this cut in here and in this part this way, okay. I will repeat it for the other side too, like this, okay. If you want, you can do the same for this base too, and since this section is a little bit different, I'm going to go to ref level. You can either change the size that we have in this part like this manually, or you could change the way we created this line, okay. It doesn't matter which one. I will create one more for the center of this sofa too, so I'm going to go to ref level, and in here I will create a void extrusion. This time I'm going to go with maybe 35 centimeter offset in this part, and I'm going to create 5 millimeter in here, and then we are going to trim these parts like this in here and the other side, or we could just create a very simple rectangle. I'm going to hit finish. You can go to 3D view, and I'm going to move it up and in here, and then again we are going to go to this uncut option and uncut it from this part, and maybe we can do the same for this base too, for this part, which is not that much important, but I'm going to cut it from this part, from this section. Click on this cut, select this, and then select the extrusion void this way. I am going to go to ref level and copy this for the other side this way, and I'm going to go to 3D again And for the last time, we are going to uncut these two sections. Okay, so this is the base for our furniture. Next, we are going to add detail for all of these sections. We could create fillets, we could create the form that we want to have, the curve form in these sections, by just simply creating it inside the extrusion. But I want to add a sweep for all of these parts to add even extra level of details, okay? Because in reality, it is exactly like this. This family is not a parametric family, parametric furniture, parametric sofa, but we can add detail, fixed detail that makes very, very huge change. So I'm going to go to create to sweep, and then we are going to use this sketch path. I will set my work plane on this part, and then we are going to use this pick line in here and in this section. Okay, perfect. Then we are going to hit finish and go to edit profile. I'm going to go to ref level because it is easier to create it in this part, and I will create a very small circle like this in here. I'm going to go with just 15 millimeter, and if we look at it from this 3D view, I think it is good, but we can change it again. Hit finish. Yes, it looks good, but we can make it a little bit bigger. Edit sweep, in here edit profile, and in this part I'm going to go with 2, hit finish and finish again. Can you see the difference between these two? I know it needs extra effort, but the final result will look much better. I'm going to join these two sections. This way we can see the lines much better. Then we need to repeat it for all of these sections. I'm going to do it for this top part and for one of these sections, but the rest of it you can simply create it. So for this part, I'm going to repeat it. Go to create, sweep, use this sketch path. In here, set your work plane on this part, and then use this pick line and create the path you want. In here, I'm going to select this line, and then you can hit finish. Go to edit profile, and in here you can create this circle in this part to here, and then change the radius, hit finish and finish again. If it is not happening, you can go to edit profile again and change this value to 30, hit finish, finish again. It might be because of these sections that Revit doesn't allow us to create it. So since that backside is not visible, we can change the path. I'm going to delete this line, hit finish, and for this profile, we are going to go back to the same value, hit finish and finish again. Perfect. To see better, we are going to join these two parts, but the problem we have in here is that this extrusion is cutting the circle that we created. So we are going to put this on wireframe to see the detail we just created, and then we are going to try uncutting it, this void extrusion from this part, which is so weird because it is not selecting the part that I want. Going to put this back on hidden line. Okay, apparently we cannot do this. Okay, we're going to try another way. What we are going to do is to create these sweeps 4 times between these sections. I mean 5 times. From this part to here, from here to this section in the center, and 2 times in this section. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate it on the same place. Then we are going to go to edit sweep, sketch path, and we are going to select this section. Then we are going to trim these parts, delete this line, and the rest of these lines, hit finish and finish again. Okay, so this is one part. I'm going to select this duplicated section again. I will create another one on the same place. We're going to go to edit sweep, then to sketch path, and in here we are going to select the other line and this line, and again we are going to trim these parts, delete this section, delete these lines, and also this one, hit finish and finish again. Then we have another part. We are going to duplicate it on the same place, go to edit sweep, sketch path, use this pick line on this part and in here, and then we are going to trim these 2 parts, delete extra lines this way, hit finish and finish again. I think you know how you can do the rest. We are going to move this down for now, and in here I'm going to simply delete this section and then go to create, sweep, sketch path, set the work plane on this part. Let's check it. Okay, then we are going to go to this pick line and select this section, hit finish, click on this edit profile with this circle. Going to create a very small circle in here, 2, and hit finish and finish again. Perfect. Finally we could create the second one. So creating family is exactly like this. You need to test different methods, different techniques to get exactly what you want, like this. Okay, so I think now you understand how you can create these details for your sofa. For this base, again, you can do the same. As you can see, we have this extrusion in here, which with this we cannot create what we want, but to show you how it should be done, I'm going to go to create, to this sweep, the sketch path, set your work plane, pick a plane in here, and then with this pick line you can select all of these parts and then trim these parts like this, hit finish, go to edit profile, and if you want to look at it from this view, you can just simply create a very small circle in here, 2 or maybe more. If you want to like highlight those sections, we are going to hit finish, and here we have it. Okay, this is a very perfect detail for your sofa. As I said, you could create like curves or fillets in these sections, but this way it looks way more better and it has a lot of detail this way. So this is how a furniture, a sofa, a professional family should be done. You're probably watching the final result. I have worked on all of these detail on all of these corners and also on the material of these sections. I probably have added some furnitures and table in the center, and the final result looks like this. And if you want to have this final result, you can simply check the site. I have uploaded a lot of different families that we have worked on this channel. So let me know what other types of family you want me to create, and I will see you next time.